Hello, everyone. Welcome to Health Shenanigans, where we talk about lifestyles and everything that affects the community. Today, we're going to be talking about drug use and substance and mental health and well-being, which comes to be something very sensitive on my end. And I would like to thank our very own students here who are here, who are also into leadership, who have come to join us and discuss about these things that are affecting us, you know. And thank you for having us. And I'm Miss B, your host, and you can start by introducing yourselves.
Thank you so much, Ms. B. I am Waisha Tlashwayo, a junior alderman at Chitumuza Municipality Junior Council, and also an HOPH student.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. P. Greetings all. My name is Prince Batisa. I'm the Junior Member of Parliament for Highfoot constituency, and I'm also a boy child activist as well as a psychophysical health advocate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. B. My name is Nixon Makangire. I'm the Junior Member of Parliament for Kwazana East constituency. I also run an organization which is called Empower Youth Organization Zimbabwe. I'm the vice chairperson, and also I'm a boy rights child for gender-based violence.
Thank you, everyone. It's so amazing to have leaders in our at HIPH. And with the current situation with our youth, how do we describe our wellness in our community?
That's a very good question right there. We are facing issues such as peer pressure from social media, and the issue everybody's been talking about, unemployment. So we see that the youth are resulting in drug and substance abuse in this modern day.
Yes, mental health is being ignored, and we see that a lot of young people are facing numerous problems, which is affecting the well-being of the people in the community.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. We also see misinformation. Young people believing in things that they simply do, and those things they do not exist, especially the issue of drug and substance abuse.
No, yes.
Yeah. Yes, as you describe it. So let's talk about let's bust into the myths that are happening. For example, where we have people talking about you cope because of taking drugs.
Okay, so there are myths. This is definitely a myth. A myth because we see that there are depressants and stimulants, right? So when a young person takes a depressant in order to ignore his or her surroundings, and also maybe take a stimulant in order to be energetic and do all those sort of things, it becomes a chain of addiction. So you can't say you are coping to something when you are getting addicted to something. This is technically death in a mask, technically.
Yes. What do you have to add on to that?
I think it's what she said is very true, and we can even see that people often underestimate these things, and addictions is something that can catch you off guard, because normally you'll be thinking I'll do this once, twice, but then you realize this, it now becomes a habit, so it's really hard to control because of the misinformation that we have.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So basically, there's this other quote that I saw which says, drugs, they don't make you cool, they make you fool. So the youth of Zimbabwe now, they want to be cool with drugs. So this leads to addiction, as Honorable Prince said. This leads to addiction, and when you're addicted, yet you don't have the money to buy the drugs, the whatever, so you tend to steal. So this becomes a problem both to the family and to yourself.
Yes.
So basically, it's peer pressure that is happening around us, where we put ourselves in a situation and say, you know what, we can actually do this. It's not something that you should be worried about. The very common that we know, weed, where people talk about weed. Can you please highlight on that and expand on that and help the youth out there who think that it's harmless, and why are they allowing themselves to be pressured out there?
Thank you so much. I feel like the issue with weed it's controversial actually, but at the same time, if it leads to effects such as rampant behavior and all of that, then it's definitely bad for the youth in the community. So there is this mantra in Jamaica, which says legalize marijuana, because they found a so-called advantage. They say it cures flu and other things, but then we see Kuti, in our society, this is just leading to one of the major downfall of the youth. And the so-called pressure, the peer pressure, it feels like youth akawana maybe a small job to do. Remember, we're dealing with unemployment. They say, no, you know what, if you can't do it, just take marijuana and you have the energy to do it.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard of someone actually talking about it. Actually makes me remember most of my things reading. I'm like, what do they mean? Where's this all coming from, you know?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, it's something that really need to be addressed there with our youth. Youth yedu believer in the music. Do you think the music that is happening around, is it also influencing with what is happening in our lives? Yes. Do you have anything that you can add on to that?
Yeah, I think as alluded by Waishe, I think weed is something that is often labeled not addictive or labeled not that bad. But then I sometimes note that people take weed as an opium.
Okay.
They think once we take weed, it's immediate answer to the immediate painkiller to whatever we're facing. So I think the moment you get used to that opium, it starts to alter your DNA and you start to have a sense of dependence on it, and it can be very, very, very addictive once you start like depending on it. And yeah.
And then yes, whilst we're on it, we've got alcohol. Alcohol, yes, it brings the vibes. We hear a lot of things happening, you know, we need to have fun, we need to listen up after the hard work. Even for those who are working class, they tend to be addicted to the alcoholism and allowing themselves to get drunk for the sake. Can you please explain to us, and advise the youth out there what need to be done, and what advice would you give them concerning that?
All right. So firstly, I would like to answer on the first question of weed.
Yes.
I think ndakambonzwa vanhu vachiti kuita zvembanje zvinobatsira kuti ugone meds.
Yes, like I said, yes.
But yet wagona meds dzacho, weed is still a drug, and
yes.
So there comes a time yekuti you be addicted, and then wakuramba chita zveweed, and then wawana scholarship takuda kuenda pamadrug test.
Yes.
Takuona kuti une madrugs in the blood.
Yes.
So sometimes kuda kugona zvinhu, let's not take shortcuts.
Yes.
Kuda kukata zvinhu, take the long way. There's a reason yekuti pane long way. And then on the issue of alcohol, so basically what I understand about alcohol, tichitanga working class, alcohol is bad kana wakudarika limit, because it may be harmful. Kana chinzi alcohol may be harmful, which means ukaiwanza pana anonzi mademerits ecommunity, unenge wabona munhu akutanga kupwanya zvinhu akuita sei. But if you manage, because we know that alcohol is something chekuti chinoredufa stress yevanhu, working class, to just party.
Yes.
So itakutaura nyaya yealcohol kwatiri isusu maridzi, I don't think it's a good idea kuti tione mwana wechikoro ari busy nealcohol, mari yachona hatorina, and then akudhakwa, akuluza focus on school, akuna enjoyment kuchi alcohol, akubva kuchikoro akutenda nekubvawo. So zvinoita kuti uluze focus on your main goal, wakaenda kune zvimwe zvinhu zvakaita sealcohol. So I don't think alcohol is good kwatiri isusu maridzi. and then it's also good kunevana wakuru, but kana yazovanzwa manje wazona munhu akutaura masitsa.
Yeah.
And I actually think alcohol is a drug because like tikada unyatsutarisisa the ingredients because everything is the ingredients. So tikada unyatsutarisisa ingredients zvacho zvinobika doro racho. You start to see these are the very same things zvatinomboti drugs. So this is now a concussion of those things. It's now mixed. Saka tikazotarisa manje because we mentioned kuti weed can make you can give you a sense of dependence, and also alcohol can also do that. So the moment it gives you addiction, the moment it gives you a sense of dependence based on these ingredients, the very same ingredients that it's now considered a drug.
Also looking at maybe the basic structure yemazuano, there are certain songs such as in fact there's a certain phrase called makulayo, right? So if we're saying makulayo, we're saying we are actually depending on mainly they are talking about alcohol, nothing else. So when they say let's go to a certain place kune makulayo, it means that we are depending on alcohol to be happy. So there is a dependency syndrome that's involved with alcohol.
Yes, you're talking about that, when people talk of how alcohol has made people depend on it. For example, you hear someone, it takes all my troubles away, I'll be safe, I'll be better. The following morning, I'll forget about everything that has been happening. So why do you think it's so difficult for people to talk about things that align with the mental health? We also have, especially with the young men, they don't believe in opening up about their issues. Even our men, we're struggling with that in our community in terms of their well-being, in terms of discussing. Unlike the women, I can personally stand for most women, but we still have those who are suffering, who rather not talk about mental health. They ask, how it is, we discuss most of our personal lives and discuss, but with guys, and it's very difficult. Why do you still feel it's difficult for us to talk about mental health?
I think as a boy child advocate, I work with these issues a lot. So like, I would like to take with this issue from the primary socialization, whereby we raise the boy child in a society that is that they label the boy child strong, masculine, and this is often toxic masculinity instead of positive masculinity. So we are raised in a society where we're told men don't cry, men are strong, men don't speak a lot, be nonchalant, and I think these things they often affect us because like the moment we need to open up takunzwa songs like achadi varumi vari weak, and the moment like these things these are the smallest things that actually affect us, because like I still remember there was this time when I smiled during when we were taking a picture, then they're like arana katichi murume asmaili pa picture, but these small things they seem small, but then if a child grows up, I change things like that seem small, the child may be affected. And we often see that women, as you alluded, women talk a lot and they open up and they cry a lot. But then isusu, not crying, not talking too much can often lead us to seeking other methods to cope with these various things. Hence we go for drugs, substances, even violence, because we were raised in a toxic place, in a toxic environment in society.
Thank you so much for that. Would you like to add on to what he has just said?
Kuti isusu tisataure vakomanaka. It seems like tinenge titori weak sezvataura, but on the other hand havasi kuziva maplatforms ekuti vanokwanisa kuita sei kutaura maproblems avo. Saka ndopanozona kuti mwana akunyarara uzonzi akomita suicide, aita sazopinda madrugs. That's the issue, but avazive mamwe mahotlines ekuti call yako inenge iri anonymous. You dial the numbers and then you call. Poitachi anonymous call and then you get your. Saka zvinenge zvakureza kuti futi pakuti my parents anofanira kuita sort of like one-on-one situation or one-on-one pep talk. Because my parents, we know you parents, but not when I so planning about it, my parents had to open up to each other. More because tinenge told out to awareness. But they was told out now, but Havana Mono, just say, I see truly free information and so those means so that's why in an organization known as Voice for Gender Equality. Tinenge takuchidzisana manje takuchudzana kuti us boys tinofana say tinofana kudaiso tinofana kudaiso so that we can go far.
Yes. You're one of us. Can you please expand to what they've just been explaining, you know?
Right, so I think adding on to Horn, Prince and Nixon's points, we see that there is also a need for more awarenesses on men's health. Because, not saying it's bad, but then there is a lot of focus on the girl child nowadays that we're neglecting the boy child.
Indeed.
So we actually need people who actually go out there and say no, men do cry. No, men are not supposed to be these giant King Kongs or anything. But we actually need people who come out of their caves and say what's wrong. They have somebody to talk to, because to be honest, if a man akataura zviri kumunetsa, it seems like he's weak, right? And then if a man decides to speak out, he has the fear of being judged. So vanhu avati, if ndikataura zvakadai kuna ningi anofunge ineni. So nowadays there's also the issue of aura. That's what we lose the aura.
It's sad, but it's happening, you know. It's happening, and we just want to work on that so that we have more men who are empowered to express what they feel. So what alternatives do we have to make it better, that they can take to make it better in terms of well-being?
Personally, I think that we need to have maybe a hotline or something, as Prince, as Von Nixon said, or maybe we actually have like free seminars whereby men are being taught, it's okay to cry, it's okay to speak out, and also we shouldn't also quit my situations here. If there is a man and a female involved in a case, we shouldn't emphasis the girl child is always right. We should also learn to exercise this SDG, gender equality. Yeah, that's what I think.
All right, I think allow me to expectorate in Shona. In the ancient African setup, we would see that the boy child would grow up nana baba, nana sekuru, nana those uncles and stuff, and you'd sit down and he had this safe space, and Papa Sina is also the labeling and stuff. So I think we in this modern generation have to find safe spaces for men, where you can just sit down, talk it out, and because there's this funny phrase, and the reason why men have pot bellies is not because of various stuff, but misods, don't need them. So you understand?
Yes,
I think we also have to find safe spaces and you can even cry, a safe space where you're not judged or stigmatized. Yes.
Okay. Basically, you need someone you trust and talk to about issues.
Even I even noted that most of the seminars, most of the girls' night out, those things we need more of those as men, but in a more positive way, because these ones that are already there, but we need more of these safe spaces. So I think we have to like change the approach to these issues. Yes.
Thank you so much for that.
All right. Based on my own expectations on how we can tackle this problem, and for example, we are doing my podcast. You can see kuti marutsa akawanda akubatika pa social media platforms.
Oh yes.
So by using the social media,
Yes.
podcast, videos,
Yes.
we can get more audience, or we can help many people
Yes.
through these things. Tikaita mapodcast tichitora vakomana totora vasikana, we talk, we discuss. You find out kuti patori nezvimwe zvinhu zvokuti vakomana havasi kutokwanisa kutaura, but now taita mapodcast, they will be free to an extent yekuti vanenge vakuchitaura manje kuti no, isusu tinenge tichitofila like this, tinenge tichifila so. And also the issue of counseling.
Yes.
Counseling, yes.
Tinofanira kueducate vana kuti vazive vanormalize kuenda kucounseling, because muno muAfrica tinenge chitongoti counseling ndezvevarungu ndezvevanhu vane mari, but
Pressure.
iwe manje nyangosina mari, there are some certain platforms that they can help you for free, but the issue yekuti atiziye kuti zvinhu zvachona zviriko, so the use of social media yakuapply futi kucounseling. So social media ndo chimwe chinhu chekuti takutofanira kutonormalize kushandisa so that we can attack my problems.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, and then I've got something funny also. Hanzi chirwere chevarungu, according to how people have put it across. If you go for counseling,
Yes.
and it's a very important key that we need to take home and really understand, and all the people out there to know, because you need someone to talk to without being judged, at the same time having that someone to talk to, which is very important. And as we go on, I want to ask about, honestly asking about why our young youth, getting into drug abuse. We have the youngsters, and it's a good thing that we have you guys, where you can honestly talk about these things. Can you start by explaining and talking about what is happening in our communities?
Okay, thank you. I feel like nowadays there is a huge exposure to social media. So people, mainly the young generation, are maybe suffering from this. I don't know if it's a syndrome or what, maybe comparison. So, for example, you learned with takudzwa, right? So you learned with takudzwa, and somehow maybe wakazoshaya mari yekuenda kuchikoro, but then takudzwa akakwanisa kuenda kuchikoro, and then he completed his studies, and now takudzwa is flashing things on the internet, and now you're starting to feel like you're lagging behind as a person. So I feel like as a coping mechanism, or in order to numb those feelings of failure, of disappointment, because also my parents munguva, they don't put into consideration kuti no pane pakamboitika ma shortcomings or pane pakamboitika ma shortfalls in your journey maybe to success. So they vanobvatenga kuzviroverera pauri kuti wona zvikuita vamwe wako chichi. That comparison from family, that pressure from family also contributes to the youth indulging in drug and substance abuse.
Once again, allow me to elaborate or explain in vernacular. So there's this popular song Yasauro, so you love yekuti ndimi makauraya. You understand? And I think ukanyatsotarisisa neziso remunhu ari open minded, and munhu anonyatsonzwisisa these issues, you just realize these are not just lyrics. This is deep. So when Social Love is saying ndimi makauraya, I think of the journey, my journey, like as a modern African boy child, or even as an ordinary child, boy or girl. Like we grow up in a society where we are not taught how to deal with certain issues. Like Tinona, we're not taught how to face issues. We're not taught how to deal with issues. So as I alluded before, primary socialization, a child has to be molded the moment Chirimumba before society teaches the child. So as we know, with the nature debate and stuff, so like I feel like parents should teach children things first hand in the house, because akazorerwa nesango I'm telling you, that would be haywire, that would be chaos. So like before, because there's globalization, there's everything. So like before a child goes on the phone, my principles, as an African, as a Christian or whatever. So like, the moment yanoshaye zvokumba, akazodzidziswa nemageto youth manje, I'm telling you kuti peer pressure is stronger than zvimwe zvinhu. And there's this popular saying kuti man of the house but still a stranger in my own house. So we have these men who are entitled men of the house, but in Bamachu they're not even the men of the house. So they start to feel yeah, you see, that's how I feel like I'm a man. And so there's a gap, like we have to like try to patch or fill in this gap. Yes.
All right. Just to comment first. Honey, they say is anobva kune vanhu kana kuti mwana uyu arikuoneka zvakubva kumba kune vanhu ndobva zvinotangira pakurerwa pamarerero anoita maparents vake ndo zvinozooneka kuti aiwa uyu mwana uyu ari mugwara rakaita sei rakanaka. Now mamwe zvinoita kuti the youth apinde mumadrug and substance abuse is the peer pressure yekuti vanenge vachida kuita fit in zvinhu zvakawanda. So if you are illiterate on the issue of drug and substance abuse, usingatoziye usitorina knowledge on madangers acho zvazvinozoita negative effects, unokwanisa kupinda madrugs. So mamwe mawezi atazotaura ndo mawezi ekuti tikwanise kutotackla the problem isati yatopinda mu-community already. And then the other issue is that of trauma.
Trauma, yes.
Family trauma zvinoitika mumhuri zvimwe zvachonaka mafights amai nababa vava kuchidhirela kuattention yavo kumwana mwana alone helpless. So ndopanozotraya kuenda kunotsvaka comfort into drugs. Ndo zvandachiti zvimwe zvinhu haukwanise kushare to a friend. I cannot share to bachisa kuti mina mai vangu vakurana nababa. I cannot share to anyone, to any stranger. So ndopata kuzopinza maishe mahotline. Saka ndo zvinhu matrauma and the pressure to fit in and then unemployment. MuZimbabwe tine mayouth akawanda. The youth dividend is huge. Takawandisa. So mabasa ngatisamirire kuti tigadzirirwe mabasa. Why not you create a job? Find the problem, you become the solution. That's the only way you can find, you can create my employment. Ukaenda pane marara, why not wakuchitanga kuita recycle marara? You see, so the problem we are not educated enough kuti tiziye kuti tingakwanise kuita sei, and then those zvinozolida kuti tizopinde into madrugs.
Powerful indeed. Yes, it's amazing that as young leaders as yourselves, we can see that you are so informed, and it's amazing. As young leaders as yourselves, what roles do you play? From what I've been hearing, you introduced yourselves, and we want you to tell us and tell everyone out there.
Okay, mainly I would refer to us as advocates, mainly. So technically we are the voice of the voiceless. So our main role is to create impact and speak about those issues that are in the closets that nobody dares to speak about. And those issues that we pretend kuti zvinhu doesn't exist. So our role as advocates is to be the voice of the voiceless.
Personally, I think those of you who know me from my social media handles, I always say advocate vechi manje. Like I'm tackling things from the manje side, and I think my advocacy style is very impactful because I know what the youth are facing nowadays. I know the approach to use, unlike these indigenous or old methods, because they're no longer working. We now have to seek modern solutions for modern problems. So I think also as a junior parliamentarian, we are the bridge between the older generation and the younger generation, and also working with various organizations like Paukama, MESH, Project Men, Bachelor's Fraternity, those organizations, they help me a lot to advocate. And I think that's what's helping me succeed as an advocate.
Amazing.
So in any personally, I try by all means to do my awareness campaigns about drug and substance abuse. So on the issue of awareness campaigns, ndakaona kuti there's a loophole yokuti we tend to attack vanhu vakatorwa nemutoriro already. How can you educate munhu akatorwa nemutoriro already? So I tend to attack the primary level, the secondary level, and then vamwe vanenge vari mucommunity vekuti unotoona kutoti they need help. That's how we tackle the problem. And then also nditori nesocial media yendo yekuti ndenge ndichiposta tichitaura about awareness campaigns, tichitaura the dangers of drug and substance abuse,
yes.
Other organizations, UNICEF, NAC, and so forth.
Yes.
So that's how I do my advocacy.
Okay. I'm impressed. You are true leaders indeed, and we just want you guys to continue doing what you do, and I'm so impressed. And as we wrap up, I want you to leave something to the listeners out there of what do they need to do, as we have discussed. What would you leave to our listeners?
All right. So I feel like the young people should know that mental health is not disease yevarungu first of all. So there is need to speak to somebody. There is need to act. Depression is not something chekuti maybe it started now wakura. Maybe you started maybe facing depression uri mwana mdiki. Now that it's manifesting, makutanga kuona ma downsides of it. But speak to someone and always express yourself. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Aisha.
All right, I'm sorry, and I don't favor the boy child hysteric, but I would like to address this to the boy child. I would like to speak to society about the boy child. Before the monster, he was a child.
Yes.
And before the villain, he was a victim. And yes, the boy will grow up to be a real man. A man indeed. But first, let him be a child. Thank you.
Thank you.
But what I can leave with you is that of it's okay not to be okay. Yes, we do suffer. That's part of our life.
Yes.
So find an environment and friends that uplift you. You are not alone.
Oh, thank you so much to everyone who was here. It was and it's amazing how you guys are working with the community, and as you continually to do that. And as we go forward, let's just break this thing that has been happening. We break that silence. We talk more about things. We avoid trauma bonding, where we encourage each other as youth to be able to do better for ourselves, to speak up, as a boy child, like you're expressing. The boy child needs to be addressed to, need to be listened to more as we do with our girl child. Thank you so much for watching Health Shenanigans. Please don't forget to like and follow our channel. Thank you.
Thank you so much.